It's presumably reasonable to state that the vast majority right now have much additional time on their hands. So much more individuals will get handsy. While there may be stresses over a lockdown time of increased birth rates in 9 months' time, it might be that sex is probably the most ideal approaches to manage our new day-to-day environments. Things being what they are, science, similar to quite a bit of human culture, has centered a decent measure of time on sex. What it has demonstrated on numerous occasions is that sex, all in all, isn't simply fun, it is beneficial for us. Here are 5 reasons why sex might be the most ideal approach to occupy your time. Fact number 1. Sex is useful for the invulnerable framework. In an influenza pandemic, wouldn't it be acceptable if there was some simple method for boosting our invulnerable framework? One examination has discovered that sex does only that. Antibodies are our body's method for distinguishing outside specialists like germs and infections. One of these, immunoglobulin N, is found in our salivation and one mucous layers and is an essential line of guard against cold and influenza infections, just as different pathogens. In the individuals who engage in sexual relations, it could help decrease the danger of explicitly transmitted illnesses. Fact number 2. Masturbation is useful for the resistant framework. In one little investigation, male volunteers were approached to jerk off to fulfillment while their blood was drawn. Not maybe the perfect circumstance for a climax. In any case, the investigation found that excitement and discharge both prompted increments in the absolute number of white platelets in the blood. White platelets are key factors in how the safe framework reacts to pathogens. Specifically, this examination found that characteristic executioner cells, NK cells, were initiated. NK cells advise different cells to end it all, a procedure called apoptosis. In the event that a NK cell contacts another cell that is contaminated with an infection, it advises that cells to experience apoptosis. This executes both the contaminated cell and the infection shaping inside it. So on the off chance that you get the wheezers, there are 2 motivations to go after the tissues. Fact number 3. Sex is useful for your heart, in ladies. The investigation indicated that an enormous extent of more established individuals report having a fantastic sexual relationship with their accomplice. However, typically men report having more sex than did the ladies participating. Shockingly for these men and their bragging their ability, the examination reasoned that the individuals who engaged in sexual relations once every week were bound to have an issue with their heart then. The individuals who had no sex by any means, engaging in sexual relations 2 times a month, appeared to be best for more seasoned men. In more established ladies anyway, there was no connection between an excessive amount of sex and a more terrible result for their heart. Without a doubt, the individuals who engaged in sexual relations all the more much of the time, and better quality sex, were seen as less inclined to have poor cardiovascular well-being. Fact number 4. Climax is square torment. After a coincidental finding uncovered that guinea pigs experiencing vaginal incitement felt less torment, it was concluded that comparative research ought to be attempted with human ladies. Ladies were welcomed into a lab and advised to self-joy themselves physically. While this was going on, a machine compacted the fingers of the other hand, and the subjects needed to state how excruciating they were finding the experience. Animating the vagina prompted the guinea pig's agony threshold multiplying. Later work on ladies in labor found that the death of the infant's head into the vagina invigorated this procedure of diminishing agony as well. The individuals who accomplish climax can anticipate diminished agony too, as climaxes discharge endorphins into the mind. These hormones actuate the narcotic receptors, similar ones focused by drugs like heroin, that have an agony-blocking impact. Fact number 5. Science says 21 is the enchantment number in men. It is an inquiry that every single adolescent young men pose to themselves, sooner or later: am I stroking off something over the top? The real response to this inquiry is presumably not, except if you are getting sore. The vast majority develop into a sound connection with their body. At the point when you're feeling explicitly disappointed, it is ideal to realize that help is consistently to hand, as it would, but science has likewise thought of a response for how frequently a man ought to stroke off in a month to have top prostate well-being. More than 18 years, 32,000 men were examined regarding their sexual propensities. It found, as different investigations had, that visit masturbation could diminish the danger of prostate cancer. Looking at the information, it appears that the perfect recurrence of discharge is multiple times or more every month for men. It might be that discharge frees the prostate of synthetic compounds that can cause disease. Whatever the reasons, masturbation and sex may well spare a man's life.